Good morning. It's November 22nd. Ron and I are here to review several topics with you. I have a license agreement with Ron to utilize his materials. The agreement requires me to share this notice. I do have his written permission to utilize his products in this manner. This disclaimer protects us as well as you. The information that will be presented today is for educational and informational purposes only and is not advice. Anything we talk about today is covered by this disclaimer. Nobody's going to be giving anybody advice. So you and you alone are responsible for how you evaluate and utilize the information that you learned today. Our agenda is short today. It's just to look over the current vision status, and then we'll spend quite a bit of time talking about the market forecast as to how we see things this year and a little bit as to the coming year. Current version is K. It was updated August 3rd. The update included fixes for the charts, options, and trade planner issues. If you have any kind of problems running visions, first off, make sure you're using K. And then if you're on the latest Windows machines, you'll need to implement the Windows 10 support notice. Visions operates best when it is run in an administrative mode. We're still working on the online version of PyVisions, which we call PyVisions. Programming is still continuing on the Trade Planner module. That's pretty much the last module that we're planning for our first release. So we'll have charts, fundamentals, options, as well as the stock simulator and an Outlook tool for that, and Trade Planner there too. And we'll talk about the market forecast, and that's Ron's portion. You've got it, Ron.
Okay, thank you, Tommy. Let's see what's happening. So here we have our factors that we selected at the beginning of January, January 7th, that interest rates would be flat for the year. They've kind of been flat unless the Fed really wants to be aggressive. We'll talk about that. Unemployment rate up, price of oil down, GDP growth flat, stronger on the dollar. It's the first year of the presidential term. Consumer sentiment flat. And Cedric chart is going from C to A to B. We made that selection, and the market would do about a 21.6% increase from where it was at the beginning of the year. So let's take a look at the actual now. What's happening with the actual? Wow, things have been on for since July. We had that big dip in April, recovery. The forecast said we're going to just keep slowly going up, which the forecast did and which the market did until now in November. We have this dip, okay? And the question is, going forward, will we recover part of this drop here now at the beginning of November? It's hard to say. I mean, we forecasted about up to 7,000 by the end of the year. That might be at risk. Won't make that, but even if you have the current gain, there is 21.65. I mean, that's quite a gain for the year. So even if it's less than that, it's still significant. So let's look at the next chart here on. We say, okay, what happens if the dollar is flat? Okay, the forecast goes up a little bit, different away from the current black line there. So will that happen? Probably not. We change the next factor is the next chart, oil flat. If oil is flat, we say it's flat, that, indicates that the market forecast there goes down, okay, 18%. So we had oil down, but if it's flat, for the year than the forecast goes down. That this might be more the scenario. If we add them both together, oil flat, dollar flat, we have 21.9. So this is just looking at different scenarios. This is available on that Visions. You can play around with the current forecast or the current factors that we have selected, and then do a kind of what if on anything. Go to the next chart, Tommy. Here we have outlook, okay? And the outlook, remember, looks forward for the next 50 days based on what's happened in the past. And what is the, I'll call it the variability. How is the market going to vary up and down for the next 50 days? So outlook is taking a picture, trying to understand what's been happening in the past and pushing that forward. Outlook suggests we're not gonna go up. We're gonna be down a little bit in recovery. So we're gonna be, look at December there's no Christmas rally. Okay. Tommy and I were talking about this earlier. What would be a Christmas rally? If the Fed really lowered rates, like to 1 point, not this 0.25 each time. If they lowered rates by a point, we would have, I think, a significant rally. And that's probably not going to happen. That's probably the only thing that's going to affect the market because, probably a quarter point is already baked in the numbers unless there's a big surprise. So we've hit the high for the year, so to say. So there is a little upside left for the rest of the year, and that's kind of my conclusion. Everybody has their own view. This is where we're at. Tom, I think this is the last slide, right?
Yeah, it's the last one.
Yeah. So discussion. We got, like I said, the the market is kind of meandering right now. There's been some kind of maybe AI issues. Is that driving the market? It's gone up and now it's not following through. It's a little shaky. All this AI forecast is, kind of flattening out. And what is the catalyst, for more upside? There's a lot of discussion about the tariffs. Will the government have to pay them back if the Supreme Court says you're doing it illegally? I don't know. It's hard to say.
And you look at gold and silver, what they're up to, and they're still going up.
Yeah, that's
predicting
kind of the fry. Yeah, I mean that's a hedge, right? I mean,
but that's kind of a sign that the dollar has lost value.
Okay.
Because gold, they figure will hit 5 by the end of the year, and
we'll
silver
hit what now? 5,000?
5,000.
Really? Whoa. Okay.
So right now it's over 4.
I know it's over 4. I mean, it went from 3 to 4 rather fast. I can't believe it.
Well, and silver's up to 52.50.
So okay, so the metals have gone up significantly. Oil has gone down. It's more than flat. It's gone down. It's below what? $60 a barrel. And it might go down further. I mean, the more production in the U.S., I mean, that's kind of what the administration has tried to do to combat Russia is lower the price of oil. That's where they get their money from. And so that's a big factor. But what about the U.S. economy? What's going to drive it? If AI is now kind of already hit the peak, we didn't have a internet bubble like we did in the early 1999 and 2000. So AI is not following that same path.
Well,
NVIDIA though has suffered a little bit. I mean, they really had good numbers, but what's the follow through? How are
Yep.
A lot of tech companies are laying off people. So what does that tell you?
Look what Bitcoin went down to yesterday.
Pardon?
Bitcoin, look how much it
Oh,
is.
okay, yeah, below 100,000, right, so Bitcoin is correcting.
81 last night.
81 last, okay, so it's even worse than when I looked at it. So, I think, at least in my feeling, unless the Fed acts, the market is where it's at, probably flat going down. And is it a recession? Probably not. I mean, if you look at the interest rate thing that, always happens, the 2-year and the 10-year, they're not crisscross, so that's not a, indicator. People are saying it's just the fact that the economy is slowing down. Is that correct? I don't know.
Ron, this is Greg.
Yeah.
Regarding oil, two things that people have told me so far, which seem to be bearing true, is one, the Saudis are looking to get some more market share, so they're pumping a little bit more oil right now. And then the other thing that's dealing with the oil market is China is turning flat right now. It's not pushing out what it was doing before. I don't know what that bodes for the future, but that sort of is what people are telling me for the state of the oil going down right now.
Well, and I think, the US is going to keep increase production, right? There's incentive to, drill, right? And if that, continues, it's going to lower the cost across the board, not only gasoline at the pump. Transportation costs of all the goods, goes down, okay, when the price of oil goes down. It's a big factor, even when there's a lot of plastic being manufactured out of oil. All of that has a lower price, and that factor gets into the economy. So, I mean, I've noticed that, a half a gallon of milk is below $2. That, to me, is an indicator. Or if you look at the price of eggs, right? It was around $5, $6 during COVID, right? When the whole thing hit. Now eggs are down to $2 too. So there's been a big correction in the economy. It's just that it's kind of, for the fact that maybe the wage factor is flat, but the costs have come down. I mean,
But-
price, I don't know where what is located, but in Florida here, the price of gasoline is below $3. I
Yeah.
filled up last at 2.7. So that is, hasn't been around for quite a while. So that's good for the economy. The question is the demand and what's going to happen at Christmas?
Well,
If they don't have money, they're not going to spend. So, Bob, what is the cardboard usage?
two of the mills in the Pacific Northwest have completely closed, the manufactured corrugated, and the value of the scrap is as low as I've seen it. And the mills aren't running full bore.
Okay, so
They don't have the
tells you
orders.
that we're slowing down.
They don't have
right?
the orders. That means manufacturing isn't going.
Yeah. And
But
Amazon's
notice-
been laying off people. So why would Amazon lay off people? Maybe they got more robots, but it's the holiday season. Usually they temporarily add a lot of people. But they have cut back, which tells you something. That, the
Yep.
shipping volume and then the sales volume is being impacted by the fact that people don't have any money. Now, if the administration was able to get this $2,000 per person,
Yeah.
like a COVID stimulation, I don't know if that would be good or not. But I think most people would spend it. Okay, they would spend it, so it would be another cause inflation to go up. Might not be a good idea. What the Fed needs to do is lower interest rates by a point.
I agree.
Did that, the market would rally.
Yep.
Whole market would rally. Say, hey, that's what we need. Lower interest rates helps everybody. Not only housing, but it helps everybody. Car loans, all the credit card debt, and all this debt that people are carrying. It's less interest. So who knows? I know the administration sure wants to lower rates and want to get rid of Powell. Want to fire the dude. we'll see. But I think that is, but I don't think it's gonna happen. What are people's feelings? Will the Fed do more than a quarter point? Anybody got opinions?
You're dealing with our bureaucrats. It's like playing pin the tail on the donkey.
So don't plan for it.
Yeah.
Because the market's not gonna rally, so in the money calls, look at puts on some of the, I'll call it the oil derivatives, whether it's pipeline or UCO, which is oil itself. Going to be flat and going down, so if you're going to get into that, you got to go deep in the money and call, give yourself some downside.
Well, we're also,
If you do, give yourself some downside.
you're also coming up to the winter season, and we'll be counting on David to tell us about the early warning for the cold storms. But natural gas, that's the other thing, Ron. Natural gas usage. Now we're fixing to hit the peak time for heating uses.
Right, which is, December and January is cold months, so.
Yeah, David, you've already had snow, right?
Not here in Chicago. Pennsylvania, we did. It was just
Okay.
a dusting. No, not nothing to speak of. There's been like dustings, but and nothing significant.
Well, I have a son in Gurnee, Illinois, and, a week or so ago, they had 4 inches.
Yes,
The
yeah, we
blow
kind
off
of,
to clean off the driveway.
yeah, it covered the grass here, but that was about it.
That was about it. Okay, but it is all melted. So they
Oh
have-
yeah, no,
Oh,
it's all
that
gone.
it would all disappear. So,
Well,
No,
the ski resorts generally up at the mountains from us open at Thanksgiving every year. Not this year. They don't
Not
have
this-
any no snow.
Oh, no snow. Okay.
Southern Utah's been getting it, which is just the complete opposite of what it normally is.
Yeah.
well, interestingly here, the airport especially has been going bonkers the last couple of days. So people are obviously traveling. I don't know what effect or lingering effect a shutdown will have on things, or the price of fuel. But as far as the airport's going, I was there last night and it was just crazy. There were a lot of people there, and this is like 9 o'clock at night.
Okay. So the airlines are
And
trying
it's-
to recover. Yeah, they're all
Right. It's only supposed to get busier the next couple of
I
days.
would think
Yeah.
that it's going to be very busy, until the end of the year, right? Because people are now saying, okay, the shutdown is over, the airlines are now,
Right.
the only problem is, FAA, do they have enough, people to man the air stations?
Well, they were short even before the shutdown, so I don't, yeah. And this ridiculous bonus thing is going to backfire, I think, because only a minority of the controllers are going to get it and talk about, lowering the morale of the workforce.
Well, that's true, but
Like a
some of those
single
people
group.
said, well, I'm not going to work. Okay, they could have had overtime, and they could have get all that.
Right. Now, the other thing that I kind of wonder in the short term too is world events. For instance, what's going on in Ukraine right now. Does anybody think that, depending on how that swings, might have an impact on the rest of the year as far as the market goes?
Not, I say no, I don't, it's gonna be the way it has been. There's
Okay.
If
no
anything,
movement in that whole thing, it's a sad case, really. The only question is Russia going to start, go after Poland? I mean, we've got, the NATO countries, are now, preparing for defense. I mean,
Mhm.
Russia might start the next, close countries and start invading, and they're doing it already with drones and, airplanes flying in that space. And so they're just testing the sky, so to say, see what the response is, and, so I don't, know what's going on. I mean, NATO is gonna maybe, have to respond to one of these times, go after some of these drones or jets or people that are breaking, the airspace. Send a message while they're waiting for them to actually attack. They have the right to protect their airspace. I don't know.
Well,
Well, if
look,
the sanctions come off of the Russian oil, okay, so there's a lot of sanctions on that. I think you could potentially see, more oil hitting the market, which would drive down the price of oil even more.
Which is a good thing. Except if you bought futures high. So that's what I'm saying. Between now and the end of the year, give yourself a lot of downside. Whatever you do, give yourself downside. You could also buy some puts if you want to. Because then if it does go down, you have a way to recover part of it. Won't recover all of it. But
that's an insurance policy.
insurance, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I do think that you're right, Tommy, about gas. Because on Long Island, I think some of we're mostly heating oil here. And some people do have gas. And New York apparently is a little bit tight with gas. And they have been digging a lot of the streets in my area to put in gas lines, which haven't existed before. And I think that some of the oil that's coming in, I should say energy actually, because I'm not sure it's all oil, is actually coming from Canada, and Canada has put tariffs on it. So we're getting a higher price of energy here on Long Island. I was also listening to a podcast of a fellow that goes out of New Jersey on Sundays, and he was saying that New Jersey used to be an exporter of energy, but it's closed down a number of coal plants, and I think the number is 13 and 19, whether it's millions barrels a day or what. It's producing 13 and it needs 19, so New Jersey itself has become an importer. And he analyzed 3 states. He analyzed Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. New York right now is the highest state for energy cost. Pennsylvania is the lowest because, yes, they shut down coal plants, but they have gas coming in from the Marcellus, and that seems to be helping with the energy prices. New Jersey is sort of caught in between. I'm not sure exactly what you can make of these statements, but it does seem to be that gas prices are low, and people are starting to make some inroads to put more gas into these states out here.
I think it kind of goes back to what I remember having a discussion about, I don't know how long ago, about just the capacity of the refineries too. It's all fine and well if you're drilling more oil, but if you don't have the capacity to refine it, that certainly puts a kink in things.
Right, and that you would look to something like how Valero is doing, which is a pretty important refiner onto the thing, and yeah.
But I know here in Illinois, there's been some issues lately because the big refining plants are in Indiana, and I don't recall what issues they've been having, but there's been some sort of issue. So our gas prices have actually been climbing here in Illinois.
Really?
Yeah, I'm paying, last night it was $3.50 a gallon.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm lucky with gas. When I say gas, I mean natural gas, not gasoline.
Well, natural gas, right.
But
Yeah, I'm paying $35 for a propane refill too. So
well, I'm lucky we
it
have.
could be 20, right? 25.
that's right.
You live in the wrong place, David.
I know. You don't have to convince me.
Well, I just filled up here in New York, and gas was $2.69 on Long Island.
Holy smokes.
269. Whoa, that's good. See, so
317. We're down to 317 again.
down to
Oh, boy.
350. Okay.
We're 279 in North Carolina.
79. See, so gas
Actually-
is below $3 in a lot of places. So that's good. It should help the economy. I mean, look at all the people are going to drive at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
However, all of our fuel comes out of our with the Uinta Basin, which is just about 2 hours north of Salt Lake, and it's all trucked in. All the oil is being we're out of our own fields to make fuel. And natural gas in Utah and Wyoming, I mean, that's the major fields where they recover it from. So our to heat our house doesn't get out of hand.
Well, I think you're lucky right now because we really don't have a means to get a lot of the natural gas to Europe, which is where they would like it. So it's sort of in our area. So if you're local and have natural gas nearby you, you're doing much better than you would
Yeah.
elsewhere.
You got to luck out once in a while.
Yes. I'd rather luck out twice in a while. What's the phrase? I can't remember it. Oh yes, no amount of careful planning can beat sheer dumb luck.
I agree.
Well, all right. I think we had a good conversation today. Pretty
Hey,
spirited.
Tommy, I have some news.
Well, you're gonna save that for the farewell partings.
Yeah, right, for
I'll turn it over to you then,
next
Ron.
month.
That bookshelf's starting to look a little bare there, like
Yeah,
right
see, the
behind your head.
bookshelves are getting bare. We're already packing. We're relocating, my wife and I, to Maryland.
Oh,
We have two children there in Maryland, one in Ellicott City, one in Baltimore, and based on, I'll call it health issues, they have convinced us it's time to get closer to family, to help out when we have medical issues, et cetera. And my wife, Jean, has had a number of issues the last 2 years, been hospitalized 3 times. And the kids say it's a lot of work to fly out and be there for a couple of days for you guys. So why don't you come back up north so we can help take care of you? So we just said, yes, we'll do that. This has been going on since the beginning of the year. We put our house on the market in April, and the price that we set it at, we kept. We did not make any adjustments because in Florida here, there's called the snowbirds. You wait until the snowbirds come for selling your property, at least, we're on the bay here. And we did get an offer that was unbelievable. We decided, now's the time. So we took the offer. So we sold our property here. We're closing on the 11th of December. And we're getting ready to basically move. Fortunately, we sold the house furnished, which happens a lot in Florida. This is a couple that have a house on Lake Michigan, okay, in Wisconsin. So they're Wisconsinites, Midwest, and they got a big house. The fellow sold his company, and they've been renting on Marco every year. Come to Marco for probably 3-4 months. So they decided they wanted to buy. They have the money, and decided that, hey, and we've held our price. In other words, I said we can wait a long time until the right buyer comes along. And that week there were 3. This is
Oh, wow.
at the beginning.
So Ron, where in Maryland are you moving to?
Okay, we have a daughter in Ellicott City and a
Yeah.
son in Baltimore on the harbor, as a harbor view.
Right,
We want to be close to the dog because she has we have 2 grandsons, 11 and 9. And we felt that, she's in the medical field and she's helped a lot already. He said, if you're close to me, I can help a lot. Plus, you've got the grand boys to play with and do things.
Yeah.
And so we're looking in the Ellicott City area, that whole, 10-mile radius around where they live. So
yeah, it's a nice area. I'm from the DC area.
Okay.
That's home. I mean, I'm from Wisconsin, but DC was home for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm quite familiar with Maryland and Ellicott City and all of that.
There
So
are a lot of
it's a nice place.
Yeah, there are a lot of 55 plus community.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at.
You know what causes this? It's them damn birthdays.
So what? Yeah, right. So anyway, hopefully, next month it will be coming from Maryland somewhere. So I just thought I'd share that with everybody. I know it's disappointing leaving the warm weather and going north where it's colder, but there are other factors you got to consider. And so we felt this is, we're getting age. I'm 80 now, almost 82 years old. It's been quite a run, and
Well, I'm 84, and
So
here
we've got-
we are.
so
But I built a second home in southern Utah 25 years ago.
oh, right. So you've been doing that.
We're
quite a while.
snowbirds. We
Yeah,
fly back
yeah.
and forth in the winter.
Right.
When my father retired, they moved to Boulder City, Nevada from Chicago, and they were there for about 10 years. And they were in sort of a similar position, I imagine, to what you're in, Ron, especially my dad was having health issues. And
Okay.
they moved back to Chicago, and it worked out very well
Yeah, I'm sure.
for everybody.
We've had a lot of friends, here on the island that have done that. They've moved north because that's the same issue. I mean, your kids
Mhm.
saying we can't come down there every time you hiccup, or have a cold, so we got to have you closer.
Right.
Well, and
That's, it's amazing, really, in the last 5 years, the number of people that have moved at our age group, and a number of them have passed away. That's the other thing. It's just
Mhm.
unreal,
Yeah.
So realizing that, hey,
And for me, Ron, right now, myself, I'm out of St. Augustine, and my neighbor is a doctor here. He's from a little bit further south in Florida. I'm not convinced that Florida hospitals do as well as the ones in the Northeast. To me, it seems sometimes it's almost like, okay, you're old, you're going to die soon. And truthfully, 80 these days is not that old.
Well, we're told that there's a lot of doctors in the area that are associated with Johns Hopkins, a lot of, medical opportunities there. So we have a daughter who's in the field. She's a CRNA and she works at 2 different hospitals. So she knows a lot of the people, in the medical field. So that's
Very good. That's
the right
excellent.
cardiologist, the right oncologist and so forth. So
Good.
Well, best of luck. I hope the move goes smoothly.
Well, I
well,
guess
we hope so too, and the thing is that we don't, because all this Florida furniture, you take it up north and you have to pay it.
Exactly.
So we said we'll hold our price. We're gonna get paid for it before we leave.
Well, as long as when you're up north, you can look out the window and watch somebody else shoveling.
There you go.
Right.
That's
My
the
goal-
plan.
my goal in life is to live to 103 and be killed by a jealous husband.
Oh,
What?
wow, okay. Great goal. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. So that's the news, everybody. We'll report back next in December on the 20th, I believe is the Saturday that we will know.
Well, we'll get to say hi to you in the frozen north, won't we?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
at least in Maryland, the snow doesn't, stick, it snows, but it doesn't stick around. So,
Right.
but that's, it's not Minnesota where it's 30 below in January. So,
Yeah.
we've
I
been
guess
there
the
in
good
winter
news is
time
you're
over
close to
50
clams in the Chesapeake.
Pardon?
You're close to clams and oysters in the Chesapeake.
Yeah, right. So,
All right.
But by the time the hurricanes get that far north, there's usually
well,
not.
yeah,
much
I
left.
mean, we
Yeah.
were very fortunate this year. I mean, we all went up the Atlantic, East Coast.
Well, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
All right.
Thank you. Same to everyone.
Take care and thanks for being here today. Goodbye.